the clout chaser who brought down a cartel. Imagine craving internet fame so desperately that you willingly sign a deal with the devil just for the street cred. That is exactly what a 21-year-old rapper from New York, whom we will call 6, did back in 2017. He was a nobody, desperate for his music to go viral, and he realized that playing a character wasn't enough. It didn't give off that raw energy that catches people's attention. He needed the real deal. So he hired actual documented members of the notorious 9 Trey Gangster Bloods to star as extras in his music video. The gamble worked. The video exploded online, the money started flooding in, and 6 became an overnight sensation. He kept shooting videos with the gang, loudly and publicly bragging to his millions of followers that he was a hardened, untouchable gangster. But there is a deadly catch when you use a real gang for clout. Eventually, they expect you to put in the work. To keep his shiny new persona alive, 6 had to officially join the ranks. By 2018, the internet's favorite loudmouth wasn't just playing dress-up anymore. He was actively funding the gang. He was helping them push drugs across state lines, ordering hits on rival rappers, and terrorizing the streets. The peak of his so-called gangster career happened in 2018, when he orchestrated an armed robbery against a man and a woman leaving a building. But while his gang members jumped out of the car with guns, drawn to ambush the terrified couple, where was 6? He was hiding safely in the passenger seat, secretly recording the entire attack on his phone like a spectator. Naturally, the FBI was watching. In a massive coordinated sweep, federal agents raided 6 and his crew. Suddenly, the internet's biggest, loudest tough guy was sitting in a freezing holding cell, staring down the barrel of 47 years in federal prison for racketeering, conspiracy to murder, and armed robbery. Faced with the terrifying reality of spending the rest of his life in a concrete box, the real gangster completely folded in less than 24 hours. He cut a deal with the feds and became the most famous snitch in hip-hop history. He took the stand, pointed fingers at his former friends, and handed the government everything they needed to lock the gang up for over a decade. His reward for burning his crew? A massive sentence reduction down to just 2 years, and an early release due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You would think a man with a target on his back would disappear into witness protection. But clout is a hell of a drug. 6 went straight back to social media, desperate to reclaim his spotlight. Instead of a glorious comeback, his life unraveled into a chaotic parade of lawsuits. In 2020, he threw a heavy champagne bottle in a crowded Miami strip club, cracking a dancer in the head and earning himself a $10 million lawsuit. Shortly after, the very couple his gang had ambushed back in 2018 dragged him into civil court to sue him for the trauma he orchestrated. By 2022, the walls were closing in. 6 stood before a judge, pleading poverty. He swore under oath that he was completely broke, struggling to make ends meet, and couldn't possibly pay his victims the restitution he owed. But his addiction to attention was his ultimate downfall. Just days later, he posted a video to his massive social media audience, flaunting over $1,050,000 in cold hard cash. He bragged to the camera, claiming he owned 5 houses and shouting, "This is really my lifestyle. I do not cap." The internet watched in real time as he publicly humiliated the judge he had just lied to. Even then, he was handed one final lifeline. A popular streamer friend named Steve pulled up some massive strings and got 6 a highly lucrative deal with the streaming platform Rumble. The contract was a dream, $2 million up front, just to stream himself playing video games for a single hour a week. It was enough to pay off his victims, clear his debts, and start over. Instead, he immediately blew the cash on absurd luxury items, including dropping $300,000 on a single Birkin bag. But if there is one cardinal rule in true crime, it is that you never ever mess with the tax man. While 6 was busy buying designer bags and flexing dirty money on Instagram, the IRS had been quietly watching. They discovered he hadn't paid a single dime in taxes for 4 straight years. From 2020 to 2023, the feds swooped in for round 2. They raided his Florida compound, seizing his luxury cars, his designer clothes, and even his famous custom-made diamond shark chain just to put a dent in his massive tax debt. Today, his music career is dead, his bank accounts are drained, and he is buried under an insurmountable mountain of lawsuits forever, remembered not as a gangster, but as the biggest rat the internet has ever seen.
Please, I am begging you, just click the subscribe button. I need this. Please subscribe now.